Live. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Under Contract. We come to you every Wednesday live right here on Facebook at 3 o'clock p.m. to help connect the dots in real estate. Today's no different. Welcome to the show. We've got some exciting things happening. We're going to start off with talking about what happened last month. You know, if you're in the real estate game, obviously, probably why you're watching the show, and it was the end of the first quarter, which really says a lot about what the year is going to be like. And I am assuming, just like here in the Tampa Bay area, that business is booming. I mean, we're up in sales all over the country, so I hope that you had a great month. I know that our month was amazing. And personally, yes, it was a great, outstanding month. So today, we're going to have something special. We have the Chief Marketing Officer coming on in just a moment for Bomb Video email. So we'll be talking to him in a moment. But before we do, we're going to talk about just a couple of things. You know, the last 2 weeks, we promoted an event that's going on right here in the Tampa Bay area. So if you're out of the area, it still applies because you can still fly in if you catch that midnight flight. But the bottom line is it's last call. Tomorrow morning is the event. Knock out your competition. It is being brought to you by Security National Mortgage. And make sure that you look Security National Mortgage up so that you can connect. If you're looking for a lender, want to reach out to them. But if you're in the Tampa Bay area, I do still have some last-minute tickets, and I will be at the event. So if you're tuning in and you're going to be at that event, make sure that you come up and introduce yourself and say hello to me. There's nothing more than I love than to meet others in the real estate industry. So I want to thank you for that. So that's tomorrow morning at the Tampa Marriott West Shore. It begins at 8 a.m. and they're going to be doing some free headshots for realtors, so you can get that photograph that you need for your cards, or maybe get it updated, but can't beat that deal. And you're going to hear from two amazing speakers on some amazing topics that is going to do just what the conference says, which is help you knock out your competition. So also wanted to share with you some news. You know, next, there's the show, by the way, not only is doing great, and I'm so thankful to all of you that are tuning in around the country, but also there's some new elements coming to the show that you'll definitely want to be tuning in. We're going to the next level with the show, and you'll see that on air. It'll be obviously live every week, but you'll get to see the transitions as we move into some exciting things that we'll be adding to the show. Make sure that you're tuning in and engaging. You know, for many of you that follow me, I know that you're aware of this, but I also co-host, because I was in the automobile business for over 20 years, and I co-host still today a show called Auto Dealer Live, which has been not only hugely successful in the automotive industry, but has really changed lives for those who tune into the show. There have been relationships, job changes, movement around the country, opportunities, unbelievable opportunities that have catapulted careers that have spawned from just engaging and watching that show. So do that here as well. I think you'll be surprised at what will happen as we move forward with Under Contract. So I want to tell you about a couple of new episodes that are coming up real quick. Next week I'm actually going to be at a couple of days at a live conference, and we'll be doing a show. It will not be airing here. So next week we're going to run a previous episode of Under Contract. So it's an opportunity. If you missed that episode, it's not one to miss, and I picked it specifically because the guest that is on that show that we did a few episodes back is going to be coming on the show again and adding to what we discussed on the previous show. So don't miss it. It's Juan Pablo is going to be our guest. He's the owner of 100% Financed. You can find him at 100percentfinance.com. And when he was here on the show, he talked about how to build a kind of a real estate portfolio of rentals, how to buy and hold, not buy and sell, but buy and hold. He has about 63 multifamily units right now and climbing. And the next episode that we're going to do live with him coming up in about, I think, 3 or 4 weeks is going to be how to find the hard money lenders. The man has a stack of hard money lenders. He's going to be talking about how to reach out to those hard money lenders when you have an opportunity to purchase a multifamily real estate, whatever, a crib, one of those houses, multifamily houses. So So make sure that you're tuning in for that. So right now we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to come back with an exciting guest. We have Steve Pacinelli with BombBomb, Chief Marketing Officer. We'll be back in a minute, under contract.
I have been using Serial Sales Pro for a little more than 2 years now.
I highly recommend it to anybody who's either just getting in sales. I don't care if you've been in sales 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are.
The shorter videos allow me to keep my concentration and also gives me more of a chance to actually apply the knowledge.
I've learned how to close deals better and be more effective in my communication with these customers.
I think what Serial Sales Pro does for me, it just keeps me sharp, keeps my head sharp.
My income has literally tripled in the last 3 years.
This year, I'm already slated to make about 50 grand more than I made last year.
I've doubled my income from what I made last year.
It's definitely increased my income, and a lot of that came from what I learned right from Serial Sales Pro.
It's really turned my whole sales career around.
Be ready to get to the next level.
So if you're not plugged in to it, get involved right away.
Let's face it, in today's market, video is the new curb appeal. Even if somebody drives by your listing, the first thing they're going to do is pull their phone out, take a look at that property online. Whether you're selling a $200,000 home in Central Florida, or a multi-million-dollar estate in Palm Beach, Florida, or San Francisco, California, or maybe you need some aerial footage for a site acquisition, email me today and let's get started. Robbie@rmtmedia.net.
Hey, welcome back to Under Contract, and today we have a special guest, and it's Steve Pacinelli, and he's the Chief Marketing Officer of BombBomb Video Email. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Dave. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you on. As you know, we have a mutual friend in common, and he connected us, and I'm so thankful that you gracefully accepted our offer to come on the show. So did I get the name right? The pronunciation of the last name, Pacinelli? Wow.
Yeah, spot on.
Wow. Imagine that. Okay. So so obviously, obviously you're with BombBomb, as we've already introduced and announced, but tell us a little bit about what BombBomb really is, because I know you have a pretty big footprint in the real estate world, but obviously we're adding new agents every day, especially right now in this boom. I mean, it's like so I think it's one agent per household now. But go ahead and talk to us about BombBomb.
Yeah, well, BombBomb solves. A lot of people just say, BombBomb is video and it's video email, but what BombBomb is, it solves the fundamental problem of the way we use technology to communicate with one another these days. And 15, 20 years ago, someone decided somewhere that we're going to predominantly communicate over the text on someone's screen, whether it be text messaging or email. And that's what we've been doing for the past 15 to 20 years or so. And there's a lot of nuance that is missed and lost within that type of messaging. And so what BombBomb allows you to do, it allows you to communicate in a more human way, face-to-face, just like we're on video right now, a more face-to-face and human way, and it gets you in front of more people more often over the digital tools that you use most. And so it helps you build relationships through the digital tools you use every day.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think that that we really need to pull out of this is the fact that I know that, for example, when I'm texting, I love to text, but I'm all the time finding myself in a predicament, and that is, I type out the message, but I can't say it the way that I want to say it, and it comes across. You could read it 5 different ways, and then you get that text back saying, well, they respond, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. You shouldn't have responded that way because that's not really how I said it. So this kind of solves that problem during this video, the ability to actually see all of our dialects and emotions and body language. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you're hitting the nail on the head. Yeah, absolutely. There's so much lost in that type of communication. When you become the text on someone's screen, they can't tell the difference between your text and my text. Our text looks exactly the same. And in an industry like real estate, where you're selling the same product, you're selling houses, and really you're selling yourself, but the physical product that you're selling is the house. You want to look different from someone else. They're taking a 6% commission. You're taking a 6% commission. They're doing marketing. You're doing marketing. What are they really buying? Well, they're buying you, and they're not buying the text on their screen. And if you can show someone who you are and show them that you're trustworthy and showcase a smile, there's a lot of human elements that our brain picks up on that our conscious brain doesn't. That gives us information on whether or not we want to do business with someone. And what's cool about video is it allows someone's brain to look at a realtor rather than guessing, being the text on the screen, but to look at them and see them and hear them and the tonality of their voice and the way that they're standing, their body movements and their actions. And so, yeah, there's just a lot more communication going on when someone can see and hear you.
Yeah, and I think that, another cool part about this for me is that one of the things I've learned with real estate is, like you said, when it comes to competition and being able to kind of stand out, what I have found out is that it doesn't take a lot of crazy, amazing things. I mean, it only takes one or two things done a little bit better, and all of a sudden you are the person that, is standing out.
Absolutely. And those things can actually happen in the video. And video is not just for leads. I don't want to paint the picture. It's just for, introducing yourself to new leads. It's a great use for video. But you're exactly right there. We have videos. One of my favorite videos to show people is a video of Jesse Peters, and he's recording a video response using BombBomb to a new lead that he received. He's doing it on his iPhone, and he's sending out as an email. You can send it out as a text as well. But he's holding up his phone, he's recording that video, and his daughter peeks her head into the background of the video while he's recording. And he's like, hey, I'm outside. I'm just playing with my daughter right now. Can I get in touch with you a little bit later this evening? We can talk about your wants and your needs, blah, blah, blah. He says his message. And he sends that out, and he got a response back within 10 minutes, and the person was like, oh, I can't wait to bring Bubbles to our appointment. Well, he didn't even ask for the appointment. They were just so enamored by his little daughter running around in the background. It got them a chance to see Jesse's why. And like, hey, he's not only a real estate agent, but he looks competent. His daughter's in the background. I can see his why. He's a father, and then you find commonalities. Well, we're family people too, and that just doesn't happen in text-based text messages or text-based emails. If you're trying to introduce yourself to a new lead, it's an advantage for them to see you and not hide behind your text.
Yeah, you are spot on. I mean, it really gives us the opportunity to kind of humanize ourselves in front of the customer, which I love. And the other thing is that I think when, especially if we're talking about leads and customers that we haven't had the opportunity to spend a great deal of time with prior to maybe an appointment or sale, I think it begins to kind of really put the customer at ease because now they know what they're going to experience. They may not necessarily know all the details of what they will experience when they come to you, but they have a new comfort level in knowing that, hey, I already know his face or her face. I already kind of have an idea of what that person's a little bit like. This is not as intimidating as I maybe conjured up in my head before going out to maybe look at a home. So I think that's huge. And one thing I wanted to talk about today with you, Steve, and I'm guessing that you've probably run into this, but what would you say to those realtors? We're talking to realtors right now. I'm addressing realtors, but the reality is we have not only mortgage brokers and builders and investors watching the show, which, by the way, this BombBomb is for everyone. It's not just for real estate. It just happens to be that there's a big footprint there. But what would you say to those who would think, well, that sounds like a good idea, but I can't. I'm not good on camera. I can't be on camera. I'm not comfortable on camera. What would you say to the agents in that regard?
So in general, you can't wait to get face-to-face with a prospect. If you get a new lead coming through, your goal is to get them on the phone. And when you have them on the phone, your goal is to get them in person. But when, time and distance and technology keep you apart, you're forced to use email. Anyone that deals with customers on a digital platform that wants to get more face-to-face and in-person meetings, video can help get you there, whether you're a lender or whether I heard you were in the auto industry earlier as well. We have a lot of car dealerships using BombBomb too to get people to come back to introduce themselves. A lot of internet marketing managers, using it as well. So anyone that has to build relationships over email, text, or social, BombBomb is a great tool to do that. not only because it allows you to send the video, but it gives you the necessary tools that you need to decide when to reach out, and data and analytics, and if they played the video and how many times they played the video, and if they're watching it right now with push notifications. That's all happening, with the platform.
Yeah, those were some of the things I wanted to key in on as well, because those are some unique features, like you mentioned. I mean, we kind of went through a few of them there, but the importance of each of those to me is huge, because one of the things I love, by the way, and we'll get into that, but one of the things I love is that when you click on an email that has a BombBomb video message, you don't really have to click a link to go somewhere. I mean, it's right there in front of you. And I think that I've heard statistics on the open rate or the view rate on a video email versus a non-video email. Maybe you can share those if you have them.
Yeah, and we have some great, and I didn't fully answer your question for the last one either, because we talked about, would it be good for, other industries, mortgage and title, et cetera, but also the comfort level on video, which I didn't forget, and I want to get back to that as well. But the statistical percentages for people getting more replies, and rather than just talking about, it's not important for someone just to view your video. Does that video actually lead to a significant interaction, right? And a significant interaction would be a reply. And 81% of our customers report more replies when they put a video into an email, because it's harder to say no to a smiling face than it is to say no to text on the screen. We ignore text on the screen, but when we hear someone, it's harder to ignore that. So 81% of our customers get more replies. The 19% that don't simply aren't using them. They're not sending out videos. As everyone does, sometimes they buy something and it sits there and you never use it. 68% convert more leads. That's actually money in your pocket. If you're sending videos, you will convert more leads. 56% report more referrals, with a bunch of other statistics that off the top of my head I don't remember, because I want to make sure I give them accurately. But yeah, there are a lot of statistics around using video. Harvard, there's a team at Harvard doing a business study around video. We started that a year ago. It takes 2 years for it to come out, and we'll have some really hard data around that from Harvard, which would be exciting too.
Right, and another thing that I wanted to kind of address before we finish up today is I want to give the viewers an idea of the cost, and the reason for that, and we'll save that for a few minutes. The reason I want to bring that up is I think it's so minimal for what you actually offer. So let's talk about the fact that you mentioned just a moment ago some of the stats of opening and some of the stats of conversions and lead conversions, and you're right. I mean, it is about, at the end of the day, it's about converting leads. But
right.
One of the reasons I think that video email or BombBomb is such a no-brainer is the fact that when you hear those statistics and when you think about standing out and doing those couple of things that lead to not only more leads but obviously eventually more sales, it only takes one sale to spawn off of this to probably pay for it for a couple of years. I mean, in the real estate game. So to me, that's why I just think it's a no-brainer. But yeah, and I also and go ahead and talk about that for a moment, Steve.
Yeah, well, BombBomb starts at $49, a month. You can pay monthly. You can save 20% by paying for the year up front as well. So yes, it's not expensive at all to start using BombBomb. Usually, the only obstacle in someone's way of using BombBomb is, like you mentioned before, they're afraid of being on camera. But as we talked about, you're not afraid of getting face to face with someone in real life. You're just afraid of the camera because you can watch it back and see yourself, and you go in and you dial in all the little things that you don't like that you're doing and that you do wrong, and then people have a self-limiting belief and they don't end up sending out those videos. I do want to make one quick point.
Sure.
A lot of your listeners probably tried video before, but they're trying video in a different format. Maybe they try to do a marketing video or something on their website, and they use a script and high-end cameras and equipment. BombBomb's not that at all. BombBomb is a short-form video message, holding your phone up for 30 seconds or using your webcam for 20 or 30 seconds and recording a voicemail-like video message, where you're just introducing yourself. You don't need a script. You don't need to learn 2 minutes worth of content. It's akin to that voicemail of just introducing yourself. And so that makes BombBomb much more approachable for people who are afraid of being on camera, because you can write down 2 or 3 bullet points underneath you right here, and then just reference your bullet points and introduce yourself to that lead, follow up with that past client, tell someone about the real estate buying or selling process in a video if it's confusing or if you're taking way too long to type it out. And these are all things that you could do if you were standing in front of someone in real life. You're just doing it through video, and a short video message is key.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that out, because it really is that simple. It's just an email that you just hit the record button when you send the email, but you're talking instead of just typing. And arguably it's quicker. For me, I can hit the button and give my point and, or introduce myself or do whatever it calls for really quickly. And to me, it's easier and better than 100 times better as far as what you're seeing on the other end with the message, the ability to communicate with our voice and our dialect and our motions and whatever the case may be. But it's literally that simple. It's just an email. But yeah, and you know what? I want to go back to this comfort level again, and I don't mean to harp on this, but it kind of gets me, because I'm extremely self-critical. I watch the shows back. I'm like, oh, it's horrible. Watch my emails back. That was just terrible. I can't believe I'm actually letting that stay out there. But what you have to do is, I think a couple of things to think about is that, number one, people aren't focused on that as much as we think they are. What they're focused on is the message that you're giving them. And what a huge opportunity to be able to communicate to someone and show your sincerity, the aura about you, the way that you're sending the message. All of a sudden on the other end, it's like, oh my gosh, this is a person that actually cares about what we're doing or is actually trying to help us.
Yeah, it's like, how many exclamation points do you use to showcase passion in a text-based email? Do you use 3? Do you use 5 to tell someone that you're passionate? In a video, they can see it and they can hear it and they can tell that you're passionate about what you're doing, what you do, and you're excited to share that information, with someone. And it does not come across, the same way. You mentioned it being quicker, and that's most people can speak 6 times faster than they can type. And for me, it's infinitely faster because I'm a terrible typer. But they can speak a lot faster. Now, the first 10 times, maybe 15 times you do a video, you're going to want to re-record and go through the hassle and do it, and it's going to take longer. After the initial 15 times, you do a video and you send it out to someone, a past client, a new lead, etc., it is going to be infinitely faster for you to describe what the buying process looks like now than to sit there and type out the entire thing, because you don't need to worry about people scrutinizing your grammar in a video, because it's natural if you make mistakes, if you pause or you say all these little things that you do in face-to-face communication, it works in these short-form video messages too. Pausing, saying, or thinking for a second, pausing and looking up and thinking for a second. That's okay in your videos. Your videos should not be perfect. A perfect video actually takes away from how it's going to connect with that audience. There's a shiny authenticity inversion, and the shinier that something is, the less authentic that it feels. And the less shiny it is, the more authentic it feels. So these raw, more organic videos are the best ones. Quick story, hopefully we have the time, but do we have the time for a quick 30-second story?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So my wife, she sells Rodan and Fields. It's like a skincare line, and she was doing her first BombBomb video, and she had all the products in her hand. And she was telling, actually, funny thing, a realtor in Westchester, Pennsylvania, about all the products. And she had it, and she dropped them all in the video, and she went out of the frame. And then she, popped back up into the frame with all the products again, and her face was bright red. And I was like, keep going. Keep
Right, exactly.
And she kept recording. Most people would have stopped and been like, oh, my God, that's awful. She sent it out. She got a call in 10 minutes. She talked with Susan, that client, for 15 minutes on how klutzy they both were, because Susan called and was like, oh my God, I'm just like you. I'm so klutzy. That was so funny. That made me laugh. And then the client bought the product. And it just goes to show you, perfect videos won't provide perfect results. It's all little things that make you you. And my wife is a little bit klutzy here and there. She's got a great, fun personality, and that came across in the video because she kept going with the video.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. She thought maybe that was, the end of the video, and you recognized it right away. Like, hey, that's gold. Keep rolling.
Yeah.
And so love that. And Steve's right on the money. Don't worry about setting up your background. You're not trying to record from a studio. I mean, the more authentic, and I share that with salespeople all of the time when it comes to video, because they get concerned about this and that, and I'm like, hey. The less perfect, the more organic, the more natural it's going to connect with that customer. It's not, if you're just like a display otherwise. So we got to wrap it up. But Steve, let me ask you, first of all, how do people connect? How can they begin to take advantage of BombBomb? And by the way, real quick, last point, because something I forgot to bring up earlier, is that when you set up your BombBomb account, if I'm not mistaken, you guys have you have the option to have like professional, I guess they call it signature pages or whatever. You can set up all your title and everything, so it just comes across automatically and all that good stuff. Pretty simple. But how do people reach out to you and take advantage and find out more about BombBomb?
We have a 14-day free trial with no credit card, so you don't have to punch in a credit card and then forget that you have it and keep on charging. You just get to sign up and start using it. Reach out to past clients and your new leads and give it a go. That's at bombbomb.com, 14-day free trial to give it a go. And then if you decide that you like it, you can check out the different pricing options. We do have a few other products, as well. We have an automated tool that incorporates video into it, but the main BombBomb system, as we said, starts at $49.
Awesome. So you can actually incorporate it into like CRMs and things, right?
Oh, we have a lot of integrations. So we have over 40 different integrations with CRMs and lead generation companies. So if you get a lead from Zillow, a video goes right out to that person automatically.
Nice.
Because BombBomb can be live videos, or they can be pre-recorded videos. And then the other half of BombBomb is not just for one-to-one communication, but it's a full mass email tool. If you're looking for something to do your monthly newsletters with, if you're looking for something to do mass mailouts or following up with all your leads from your open houses, BombBomb has lead capture forms that you can use at your open house, and it will send the follow-up videos giving everyone the information they need about that property, or maybe the home tour, the video home tour of that property. So it's an email marketing system and a way to communicate in a more authentic way one-to-one.
Yeah, I love it. And this is a no-brainer, by the way, with a 14-day free trial. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It gives you that time to kind of get comfortable with it as well. And even if you're not in sales, it's a cool thing. But if you're in sales, it's kind of a must-have, I think. So, Steve, I appreciate you being on the show today. It was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing what you do there at BombBomb. And just, again, real quick, give everyone the information to contact or research or get a hold of BombBomb.
Yeah, bombbomb.com, and that's bomb.com. You can reach out to us. You can call us. Our phone number, of course, is right there on the website, where we have a neat, nifty little chat feature, and you can chat with people from BombBomb right on the website.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate you being on. Hope to meet you someday out there in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Beautiful area.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Dave, so much for having me. I appreciate it, and I had a good time over the past 20 minutes.
All right, absolutely. Thank you, Steve. So there you heard it. That was Steve Pacinelli, the Chief Marketing Officer for BombBomb. Make sure that you're checking them out. Make sure you tune in next week. We're going to re-air one of our most popular episodes, Juan Pablo, sharing how to build that real estate portfolio, how to buy multifamily units and hold them. Not buy and sell, but buy and hold, so that you have that income coming in. And then we'll be following that up in a few weeks with another session, a live session with Juan, talking about how to get those hard money lenders that will look at your deals, your opportunities to buy, right? No cash, no credit, no problem with Juan Pablo. 100%finance.com. Check him out. I will see you I'll see you in 2 weeks, but next week we'll re-air Juan Pablo's episode. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. #Boom.